This girl with rare dwarfism was bullied at school, but now 19 years old, she's infinitely stronger. Getting bullied at school is no doubt a terrible experience for anyone, and it may well be especially awful if you're teased about a medical condition that you can't control. One girl from the US knows exactly what this feels like, but she hasn't let it stop her from living her life to the full. Hannah Kritzek of Minnesota is a truly remarkable young woman. She was born with an extremely rare medical condition called primordial dwarfism. With only around 100 people in the entire world having the syndrome, Kritzek has proven herself to be very special indeed. Shortly after her birth, she was put up for adoption and taken in by Jackie and Larry Kritzek. Since then, she's enjoyed family life with her 3 siblings by her side. Both of her brothers and her sister were of typical height though, so even at home she stood out from the rest. Primordial dwarfism carries with it lots of health complications that Kritzek had to deal with. Not only is she very small for her age, but she also has to watch out for other conditions creeping up on her. These include the likes of kidney disease and diabetes. Furthermore, she's always known that her lifespan was likely to be dramatically shortened in comparison to that of an unaffected person. In fact, people with Kritzek's condition often don't live far into their 20s. But nonetheless, she's now 22 years old and shows no sign of slowing down. While Kritzek has certainly been living life to the full, things haven't always been easy for her. When she was younger, she suffered bullying at the hands of some unkind peers at school. Not only would kids stare at her, but they'd also say unpleasant things. Thankfully though, Kritzek recalls her siblings standing up for her when the bullies mocked her. In fact, she remembers them going so far as to getting involved in fights in order to protect their sister. Nonetheless, this experience still severely damaged Kritzek's self-confidence. Knowing that kids can be mean, Kritzek's parents did their best to make her home feel like a safe space. My mom and dad still made sure I had a normal childhood though, she recalled when speaking to the Daily Mail in February 2015. For example, her parents even had light switches lowered so that she could use them. Nonetheless, her height of just 3 feet and 3 inches has resulted in plenty of awkward situations for Kritzek over the years. Everyone thinks I'm 5 years old when they see me, and it's frustrating because I'm not a baby, she explained. Although she may look young, Kritzek entered her teenage years with exactly the same interests as any other girl her age. Not only was she into shopping, but she also threw herself into performing arts. And her biggest passion of all lay in dancing. And it wasn't just one type of dancing either. Kritzek excelled at both ballet and hip-hop, often throwing shapes even more impressively than her classmates who were of typical height. But her array of talents didn't stop there by any means. Kritzek also fancied herself as a singer, so much so in fact that she decided that one day she'd like to be a singing coach. With her optimistic attitude and determination to succeed, what better way to show the bullies that they were wrong to tease her? Now that she's in her early 20s, Kritzek has an admirable outlook on life. She didn't let her self-esteem issues get her down. Instead, she embraced the limelight and now thrives when she's performing on stage, whether it be dancing or singing. Moreover, she hasn't let her condition affect her career opportunities either. Kritzek initially spent time as an intern at a hair salon and then moved on to the restaurant industry. And after securing a trial shift there, she subsequently bagged her first proper job at one of her local restaurants. Just because I'm smaller doesn't mean I'm any different, Kritzek told the Daily Mail, and she's making sure to let the world know that. Indeed, despite what the bullies may have said, Kritzek is proving that anything is possible, even if you have primordial dwarfism. Her optimism seemingly knows no bounds, and she still has plenty of ambitions that she wants to fulfill. I'd like to have a boyfriend, and I believe in romance, but I just haven't got it yet, she said. And she's pretty certain about her future boyfriend's appearance. Ideally, she'll find a guy with brown hair, blue eyes, and a mohawk. But there's another criteria as well. Kritzek would like to find a man who will protect her, in addition to looking perfect, of course. Moreover, despite the uncertainties about her own future, she'd also like to have a family one day. Her own mother, meanwhile, chooses to focus on the present. We're just going to live each day like there isn't one tomorrow. That's all you can do. Live to the fullest, Kritzek's mom told the Daily Mail. As for Kritzek herself, She also doesn't like to think about how much time she has left. Although she's starkly aware of the usual consequences of her condition, she still looks ahead positively, encouraging others in the same position to do so as well. The way that Kritzik has handled life is truly admirable, especially when you consider all the health complications, bullying, and self-esteem issues that she's endured over the years. And her advice for others in the same situation is nothing short of inspirational. Never give up on your dream and keep trying.